What would you do if someone insulted you in public? Right now, just imagine it. You're walking down the street, maybe with friends or family, and suddenly a stranger starts shouting at you, hurling insults. What's your first instinct? For most of us, it's a flash of heat, anger, embarrassment, the need to defend ourselves, to shout back, to prove them wrong. It's a natural human reaction. But what if I told you that this reaction, this very impulse, is a trap? And that 2,000 years ago, the most powerful man on earth showed us a way to escape it. This isn't just a story about ancient history. This is a practical lesson in mental freedom, a secret weapon against the negativity we all face, whether it's from a stranger, a colleague, or an anonymous comment online. This is the story of the emperor who could not be insulted. Our story begins in ancient Rome, not in the Colosseum with roaring crowds, but in the mind of one man, Marcus Aurelius. You've probably heard his name. He was the emperor of Rome, ruling over a vast empire at the absolute peak of its power. He commanded legions, his face was on every coin, his word was law. But Marcus Aurelius was different. He wasn't just an emperor. He was a philosopher king, while other rulers were consumed by power, conquest, and luxury. Marcus spent his quiet hours, often late at night by candlelight, doing something extraordinary. He was writing to himself. He wasn't writing memoirs for the public or decrees for the Senate. He was writing private notes, reflections, and exercises to train his own mind. These notes, which were never meant to be published, have survived for 2 millennia. And today we know them as the Meditations. The Meditations are a window into the mind of a man trying to live a good life under immense pressure. He was a student of Stoicism, an ancient Greek philosophy that teaches virtue, reason, and self-control as the path to a peaceful and meaningful life. For a Stoic, the external world, wealth, health, reputation, even what other people do was ultimately beyond our control. The only thing we truly possess is our own mind, our own judgment, our own response to events. Marcus didn't just read about these ideas, he lived them. He practiced them every single day, training his mind like a soldier trains for battle. And one day, in the bustling heart of Rome, that training was put to the ultimate test. Imagine the scene. The emperor is walking through the Forum, the crowded center of Roman life. He's not isolated in a golden carriage. He's among his people, surrounded by his personal guards, but still accessible. Citizens are bowing. Merchants are trying to catch his eye. The air is thick with the sounds and smells of the city. Suddenly, a voice cuts through the noise. A man, emboldened by recklessness or perhaps madness, steps forward and begins to shout insults directly at the emperor. You have to understand the gravity of this moment. This wasn't like heckling a politician today. This was an insult against Caesar, the living embodiment of the Roman Empire, a figure considered almost divine. The crowd gasps. The guards tense up, their hands moving to their swords. Time seems to slow down. Everyone expects a swift, brutal reaction, an arrest, a public flogging, execution. These were all common punishments for far lesser crimes. The man had sealed his fate. But Marcus Aurelius does something no one expects. He stops. He turns to face the man who is insulting him. There is no flicker of anger in his eyes, no tightening of his jaw. He looks at the man, not with rage, but with a kind of calm, detached curiosity. And then he speaks. His voice is steady, not raised in anger, but clear enough for those nearby to hear. He says, "You do not know me well, or else you would have said worse things." And with that, he simply turns and continues walking. The crowd is left in stunned silence. The man who shouted the insults is speechless, his anger deflating like a popped balloon. What just happened? The emperor was insulted, and he agreed. He didn't fight back. He didn't punish. He didn't even acknowledge the insult as an insult. In one brief moment, Marcus Aurelius demonstrated a power far greater than that of his legions. He demonstrated the power of a truly invincible mind. So why did he respond this way? Why didn't he get angry? This is the core of the Stoic lesson. Marcus understood a timeless truth that is so easy to forget in our daily lives. We cannot control what other people say or do, but we have absolute control over how we respond. An insult is just words, sounds vibrating in the air, pixels on a screen. By themselves, they are meaningless. They only gain power, they only become hurtful when we allow them to. When we hear an insult and think, "This is harmful, this is an attack on me," we are essentially giving the insulter permission to disturb our peace of mind. We are consenting to be hurt. Marcus Aurelius knew this. His nightly practice of self-reflection had prepared him for this moment. He saw the man's words not as a reflection of his own character, but as a reflection of the man's own anger, ignorance, or pain. The insult belonged entirely to the person who spoke it. By responding with calmness and even a touch of self-deprecating humor, Marcus did two brilliant things. First, he refused to accept the gift of the insult. Imagine someone trying to hand you a package you don't want. If you don't take it, who does it belong to? It still belongs to them. The insult never landed. Second, he completely disarmed the attacker. The man wanted a reaction anger, fear, a show of power. By giving him none of that, Marcus made the man's aggression pointless. The anger had nowhere to go. The power stayed with the emperor. Now, let's bring this into our own world. Think about the last time you were insulted. Maybe it was a passive-aggressive email from a coworker, a rude comment on your social media post. Maybe a friend said something careless that stung you, or a family member criticized a choice you made. What was your reaction? Did your stomach clench? Did you spend hours replaying their words in your head, crafting the perfect comeback you wish you'd said? Did it ruin your day? Every time we allow someone else's words to hijack our emotions, we are handing over our inner freedom. We are letting an external event, something completely outside our control, dictate our internal state. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that this is a choice. We don't have to give them that power. The Stoic approach isn't about suppression. It's not about pretending you don't feel anything. It's about observation and reason. When someone insults you, the Stoic practice is to pause. Instead of reacting instantly, you create a space. In that space, you can analyze the situation. You can ask yourself, is what this person's saying true? If it is, then it's not an insult, it's feedback. It's an opportunity to learn and improve. Why should I be angry at the truth? And if what they're saying is false, then it's just an error, a mistake on their part. It's noise. Why should you be disturbed by someone else's mistaken opinion? As Marcus himself wrote in his Meditations, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Getting angry means you are sinking to their level. Remaining calm and virtuous means you have already won. Marcus Aurelius was publicly insulted, yet he remained unshaken. His incredible strength didn't come from his title, his armies, or his wealth. It came from something far more valuable and enduring: mastery over himself. He understood that true power isn't about controlling others, it's about controlling your own mind. So, the next time you face an insult, big or small, I want you to remember this story. Remember the emperor in the streets of Rome. Pause, take a breath, and remember that their words are just words. You are the one who decides if they have meaning. You are the one who holds the key to your own peace. The insult belongs to the person who speaks it, not the one who hears it, unless you choose to accept it. Choose not to be harmed. You won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed. You haven't been. This is the Stoic way. It's not easy, it takes practice, just as it did for Marcus. But it is the path to true inner strength and unbreakable freedom. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, let me know in the comments how you plan to practice this mindset. And for more lessons on philosophy and self-mastery, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us create more content like this. See you in the next one.